All right, welcome, hello, welcome to Invite Sent. Thank you guys so much for being here. Everybody in the chat, all the places. We are everywhere. Kick, Twitter, two different Twitters, two different YouTubes, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch right now, TikTok and Instagram. Got those loaded up, ready to go. We're excited. We're pumped. We're going to play some Call of Duty today. And I think I know why it's lagging a little bit, because my computer doesn't typically handle Call of Duty really well. So I think that's where you'll see a little bit of jumping around. I may be hard to hit. See that? It's because this game, I need to put it down a little. But guys, thank you so much for being here. We're going to play some Call of Duty with the most amazing and the most kind and the most awesome StreetTacoEater. How are you today, sir? Welcome. Hello. Can you hear me all right?
I can.
Okay. Yeah, welcome.
Sorry, I'm excited as well. I may need to turn down my audio here just a little bit.
Okay, sure.
In the game.
Yeah, the game audio is always the fun part.
Because it's pretty loud. So let me do that really quick, and then we're good.
100%. Yeah, always when you load in, that's always the crazy part of it. I definitely need to change I'm gonna play with like low graphics. That's the best way. I don't usually play Call of Duty on my streams just because I know my computer has no fun.
Well, it's great to have you convert back over. I love Fortnite as well, trust me. But yeah, this is definitely my go-to.
I'll have to run. I usually run like 200 render resolution. I'm gonna run down to 100. You know, that'll probably better. But hey, welcome to the show. I'm so glad we got time. I know we were good a few weeks ago. I think it was spring break or something we had going on. So thank you for letting me reschedule and jump in.
Absolutely.
But I've been seeing you a lot of stuff you've been doing, but I want to go back to 1978 is where I want to start.
Okay.
When you played Atari and Pong, and you played in, like we all did. I mean, I'm 41, so I still played in the arcades.
Yep.
But what was the change for you from Atari to arcades to Nintendo? How was that? How was that world? What were the big?
I mean, it was super easy, right? I mean, I've been playing for a while. I mean, I was playing pinball. Sorry, I was going to ping an area. I did.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I was busy setting my settings up.
So, it was, I've been playing pinball for a long time. By the way, I have just started using controller. I've been mouse and keyboard for 20 years, so this may take me a little bit to get used to it. Yeah. Well, so, no, I've been playing pinball. My uncle in 1975 or 6 or whatever it was got me an Atari for home TV system, and I was hooked. He knew I enjoyed that kind of stuff, and my mom certainly couldn't afford it, so he got it for me, and it was great. I mean, from that point on, okay, I got to figure. Hold on, whoa, I got to figure out how to not do that. I need to figure out how to plate. Okay, well, I got to get rid of this guy.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. I think it's E on the key. Well, E on the keyboard. Obviously, I don't know how to do it on the controller.
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah. It's Y. I think I got it here. Okay. And so that I was hooked on that. And
plating.
I am so not. I'm so not used to controller on this, and I don't play Resurgence very much. I'm waiting for Rebirth. Yeah, so that was great. And then I think it was, what was it, early 80s, mid 80s or so, arcades became a thing, and I was completely hooked.
Yeah.
I think back then, once I discovered, for me the go-to was, and there'll be OGs that remember this. I mean, you're 41, I'm 61.
Ooh.
Hold on here. I'm in a fight.
Almost.
Oh, controller. I'll tell you what.
I'm gonna stay alive so you can come back.
Okay. For me, Asteroids and Galaga were like my games, and I was unbeatable at those two. I mean, I was hooked through all of that. And then when all the arcades really started popping, I used to work at a pizza place when I was a teenager, and they had Asteroids there. But but I was hooked. It just was, I don't know why. It just was a thing, and it's always been a continuing love of gaming, and not just gaming. It was the community.
Right.
I'm dropping in here above you. It was the communities that you develop and friends you develop as well.
Did you ever read or see Ready Player One? Was that on your
I
list?
mean, I think I just watched it again for like the 6th time.
Well, the 80. I mean, I'm reading the second book again for the 5th time, and yeah, I watch it quite often. But that 80s nostalgia is always so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of culture and lore and all kinds of stuff about that time frame, and you know, and for me being I mean, so when people come in and they say, "Hey, boomer, what are you doing?" It's actually kind of a compliment because I actually am a baby boomer. So my perspective on I was a little bit older when gaming really started rocking. So all that stuff in Ready Player One are definitely very true for me.
Yeah. Well, then let's go to the 90s here. You are a Doom fan. You do like Doom. I like Doom. I enjoyed playing Doom and making maps on like DOS or ASCII or whatever it was with the red lines and the blue line. I don't know if you were a map maker at all.
I was not.
I think I don't know what it was about Doom, but it was just this. It was just something that, it was, you know, early on FPS. It was one of the early on FPSs.
Yep.
So what for you with Doom in the 90s? I mean, let's see, you were in your 20s by then.
So so I was born in 1963.
Okay.
So I would have been, you know, so in the mid, I mean, 1993, I was 30 years old.
Yeah.
Doom was the first, not the first. Doom was one of the first PC games that I played.
Okay.
And I mean, what's not to like? It just was an incredible. It was the next evolution of. I'm trying to think. I think I was when we started playing. I think I was in college.
Oh, I just got sniped.
And yeah, I see him right over here.
What a jerk! Camping the loadout.
I broke him. I'm gonna push him.
All right. You got this, controller master.
Controller. No, it's not. This controller. I'm telling you, this is. I've only been doing this about 3 weeks, and so this is the first time. This is just for you, Bubba. This is the first time I'm using controller on Resurgence. So. And
you're getting these sweaty lobbies with your level 419 over here. I think my level 8. My level 8 lobbies aren't.
I thought you were going to carry me with those 0 build Fortnite skills. That's what I was looking forward to.
I'm saying the movement is so different, man. I just feel like I feel like my real self. I just played basketball a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
And I didn't play like in a week, and I just felt so sluggish. That's exactly how I feel when I'm playing Call of Duty right now. It's just running through molasses.
Yeah, it's the same thing if you go. I mean, if I go back and play Fortnite, it's the same kind of thing. It's just so different.
Yeah. So okay, now, you know what's funny is, and this is moving to the 2000s here. Like 90% of the guests I have on these shows are World of Warcraft players. I don't know if I just interview a lot of people between the ages of. I don't know what I need to do here.
I think you have control because I can't get out.
Again, there we go. Oh, we have to get out. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what it is like. People between the ages of 30 and 60 and just World of Warcraft players. How I want to know if you've played WoW. Were you a WoWer? Did you do you know how many hours? Okay, so how many hours do you think you put in, and what was your favorite expansion?
Oh man, I stopped when I was heavily into it. I stopped playing. I think Wrath of the Lich King was my last official expansion. It started getting kind of strange for us OGs. Then it was like, you know, when the Death Knights came out, it was like, really, you could start at level 55.
Right?
And so it was, that was a little, anyway. So in stream, it's funny because I will yell out what in my gameplay, you know, Leroy Jenkins. And if you are an OG World of Warcraft player, then you know what that is. I probably have, you know, I probably have 4,000 or 5,000 hours in World of Warcraft.
Wow.
It was it was everything about it I just loved, right? It was a whole new kind of evolution of gaming. It was my first exposure to an MMORPG. I had, you know, both Horde and Alliance tunes I was a caster. I'm not really a melee like tank guy. I'm really kind of a mid-range player. So I had
I like that.
both frost and fire mages. You know, love to run a bunch of end game dungeons and raids and different things. So that the biggest thing with that, I think that was my first real introduction, probably to real community and online gaming, because you know you have big guilds and you're regularly with people.
Right.
And so I just kind of fell in love with it. But once it, like I said, once it got to Wrath of the Lich King, I think I kind of ended there, and then I took a break. And then when Vanilla came back out not long ago, a few years ago, I was all over it. And so we played a bunch of Vanilla, and it was that was fun.
Yes, I'm very much the same. We jumped back in continually. So it was like December 21 or so. I don't actually December 22 maybe, 22, I think. And yeah, I think we all. Yeah,
well, and it was crazy too, because you forget. I forgot how bad the grinds are through certain levels too, right? And it's just, you remember those days of just, you know, through, especially in the 50s, late 40s, you know, 50s. It's just
going to Desolus and all these other places. And I love that you played both Horde and Alliance, because I was a person who, and if I jump back into it, which I probably will in 6 months, who knows, when something else happens, is I would always just every 6 months start a new character. I loved leveling to like level 50 or 30. I just don't know what it was. I just enjoyed that, and I didn't raid a whole lot or much. Did you raid?
I did quite a bit for a while. We had a pretty good guild.
Nice.
The challenge with raiding is that the scheduling is always tough, and then depending on the tune that you play, you have people that will, you know, it's like, for example, if you play a healer, if I played my druid, you could get into a raid anytime, even if it wasn't 100%. Here. But if you're trying to tank or, or DPS, that you're just kind of like, if we can fit you in.
Yeah, right. I did enjoy, so as retail got into past Cataclysm and everything, they started creating.
A guy on me.
Oh, sweet. I got a gun.
I didn't even see him.
Oh yeah, he's shooting at me. Oh my gosh. Oh my, I got a few hits on him, but I'm dead. So yeah, are we already out?
We're out.
Oh my God.
I was more talking about World of Warcraft because I was paying attention and someone was right on me.
Well, welcome everyone to the show where Boomer and a Millennial jump in and get destroyed before we land. So welcome to the show. Okay, they added a component in. You know how? Wow, I mean, I started December 04, and I know that was like right after beta, and because I was playing EverQuest right before then, and I loved EverQuest. But back maybe after Cataclysm, it was after Wrath of Lich King, they added a looking for group model for you to just zone into dungeons no matter where you were, and that was super helpful to level. And so I did that as a paladin tank over and over, or a druid tank or whatever, and I just kept running and recreating new characters, and so that was helpful. But then when Vanilla came back out, you had the meeting stones, even though that wasn't really a thing way early on. That it was still like getting people, going to cities, communicating in group 4 chat group, and trying to find people. Then you get finally a warlock to meet somewhere, and you pick people up, and you then make it to Scarlet Monastery 6 hours later. And you do stuff.
Well, we used to do a lot of, two of my boys, one of them in particular. So all 6 of our kids gamed when they were growing up, and I still game with with a couple of them. But we would do some Smurf runs. So you'd build a level 19 rogue or something, and go into Warsong Gulch and just melt people. And that was we had a lot of fun doing that. And you know, when Smurfing was a really big thing. And matter of fact, when people talk about Smurfing now, they probably don't even realize where it comes from. But we had a lot of fun with that in World of Warcraft as well.
Now, you played a lot of Halo with your kids growing up.
Played a lot of Halo. We have a lot of
Halo. Which Halo number, and which one was the most, and which one was the most exciting with your kiddos?
You know, I don't know. There was, I mean, all the Master Chief series, you know, now are amazing. I think for me, it's always people ask that question all the time. Like, for example, like, what's your favorite Call of Duty? Well, I mean, I would say if I
Mm,
had to pick one, I would say Black Ops 2. But when it comes to Halo,
yeah.
for me, I've always told people that I enjoy my favorite version of the game, edition of the game, is the one I'm currently playing. And I don't really reminisce as much about different versions of the game as much as I do with experiences with people. So for our kids, when a couple of my boys were young, well, all of the boys were young, but
Yeah.
it was more about just getting on and playing together. So
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know with Halo. I'm not one of those, like, even in World of Warcraft, I wasn't really all about the lore. It was more about the activity with friends and my kids.
Yeah. 100%. So I want to go now to. So next Monday you'll be 61 years old,
Yes,
and
sir.
happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Do you ever look back and wonder, since the gamer tag Street Taco by itself was taken, that maybe your identity or your brand would be different if you were like, you chose something different, like Street Taco Lover or Street Taco Hater or Street Taco, I don't know. Why did Eater? I know you love tacos. You eat them a couple
Yep.
times a week.
Yep.
But why not
Why
something
Street
different?
Taco Eater?
Why not something different than Eater? And what would your brand be? Would you be going across the globe, doing things and getting tacos and eating them on tours, or would you just be going around talking about how you love tacos? I don't know. I always wondered. Obviously from Why Eater.
I think it was when I decided on street tacos. So I was born in Los Angeles and I grew up in Southern California. So I've been eating street tacos for as long as I can remember. And I think that was the main thing. Street taco obviously was taken for everything.
Yeah.
But when I thought about it, well, what am I really? I'm a street taco eater. I mean, I eat them. I love them. And so what's interesting when I do travel, and especially with what we have coming up here that we're going to be announcing this weekend, it fits in because, when I was traveling, we were back to California for a funeral in December, and we stopped at a place in Vegas that had, on the outside of it, it said best street tacos in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And so of course I had to do a live stream, and it turns out that my followers absolutely loved me doing reviews on street tacos. So it kind of just plays in to be Street Taco Eater and have have that be just a part of what we do when we travel. So I don't know, there was a lot of thought, Bubba, that went into it. I mean, it just was, I'm a branding guy, so it's like, but I also feel like, once you pick something, you build a brand and an image around it more than really having, do I have this incredibly unique name? And I don't know that a ton of thought went into it.
Well, you're right. I mean, I do see a lot of branding. You're branding from, which I definitely want to talk about, the 290. I'm sorry,
9292
here in a bit. Yeah, and we'll talk about mental health, and we'll talk about what you're doing in mental health, and talk a little about our son. But I see your 1 million people. I've seen your the NFT metaverse world we lived in for some time.
Boy, you've been a follower or a reverse engineer. I love it.
Well, there's one thing for content creation, starts with a K. It's now leaving me right now without my notes.
Cracked Virtual.
Cracked. That's what it is. So yes, I agree with your branding. But I also think we have a lot in common, because this is one of my 5 shows. Because I do a show where I interview people who just got laid off and want to get their CVs out. So I have that called Spotlight, and then I have another show called Good Morning Gamers, and I have another show called The Rave Esports Show, and I have another show called I can't remember. I have too many shows. So, but I also have ADD, so that I also know that I understand that we with ADD have also entrepreneurial spirit. So I will chalk that up to that. So I think we have a little bit in common, that we like branding, we like stuff, but I do love your content. I love what you've been making. I also love that you just have the message. There's people right from me. Dead.
I'm almost back. I'm back. All right. Yeah, this controller's, I'm tempted to switch back to mouse and keyboard on this resurgence.
He caught me. I didn't even know he was there. And then
I didn't either. I'm more talking to you than
Oh.
I'm going to focus. I'm going to lock in, Bubba.
No, this is part of the game. This is part of the show. And for any of the viewers who are coming from your Discord, hello everyone from the Discord. We've got about 24 people watching, so thank you guys for being here. So yeah, branding, Street Talk. Okay, I love that you've got kind of a story why, and maybe not even a real purpose around Eater, but now it's worked so well. My gamer tag is Yo Mr. Bubba, because I work with a lot of kids, and I always felt like they would say something cool, or I guess I thought I was cool because they'd be like, hey yo, what's up, Mr. Bubba? But maybe I'm too not cool enough, really. So we also had COVID. I want to go to COVID, and then I want to talk about your beard.
Yeah.
So COVID happened.
Yep.
And you were pushing out this big project, and then COVID hit. Let's talk a little bit about that. What is this? What's this? Iterations of things you were doing, and what happened pre, and then as COVID started with some of your projects.
Yeah. So we had in 2018. I had wanted to. So I've always loved the gaming community. I've always been a part of the gaming community, and I'm very protective of it. Yeah. But I also wanted to. There are a lot of people that say, hey, I want to have a career in gaming.
Right.
I would love to make money as a content creator, whichever. But where do you go to actually do that? So I came up with the concept of Delta V Esports, which would be essentially a gaming. There's a guy dropping in over here. It's especially, with how do you develop skills specifically in those kinds of areas, and where do you go? And the answer is there really isn't any place. It's you can find some more stuff now. So we got some investors. We built out a venue called Delta V Esports, and it was going to be an esports competitive simulator that would allow us to have teams to come in, compete, team versus team. And while they were competing, we would teach skill sets in coaching, in IT, in camera equipment, in shoutcasting and all of that. So we had the entire venue built out. We spent about 9 months building it out. And 11 days before we could open it to the public, COVID restrictions hit.
Wow.
And we never got to open it to the public, which is with all that equipment and everything around, which is why I started streaming. But the intention for me has always been, what's the practical, pragmatic side of how we can help people have just, opportunities financially in gaming or a potential career, but where do you get those skills and how do you do it was always kind of the issue for me. So that's what that was. After that, when we realized we couldn't open the doors, I was approached by what became the new leadership of the esports stadium, Arlington.
Okay.
And they really, I helped them out in a tight situation.
Colby and Envy and all that. Before Colby or Jonathan?
No, this was before. This was after Jonathan.
Okay.
So this was.
So
how do I say this? No, this was before. This is between them.
Really?
So yeah. So without getting into
sure, go ahead. Yeah.
The weird drama stuff of it. This was the grandson of Ray Davis, who is the majority owner of the esports stadium Arlington. I mean, he's the majority owner of the Texas Rangers, and he's the one that funded the esports stadium.
Okay.
So there was a time when his grandson didn't like the way things are being done. Anyway, I won't get into all that stuff.
Sure.
I had nothing to do with any of that.
Okay.
Once they decided they were going to take over, then they invited me to come over because I've been helping them out with some other things in my venue. And we decided that, hey, I'd move over there and I would bring our curriculum and our efforts into the stadium, which was great. And then I did that for about 6 months. But the problem is I didn't want to go to work for them. And I felt like my brand, they were all great guys. I mean, I love all of them to this day. But I was kind of becoming too tied to it. It was kind of getting away from what my objectives were. So I said, hey, listen, I have a project I want to do, which ended up being called the Great Esports Street Tour.
Right.
And then I went out and started traveling and filming people that were making money in gaming up top. I forgot I had a one-shot gun. My bad.
I don't even know where he is now. I'm about to get shot.
Yeah, they're both on the roof.
Oh,
they're both on the roof. Right above you.
About to get capped. I'm trying to stay alive.
and they've got snipers. Yeah, I got 17 seconds. So I
About
did
to get
that
hit.
for I traveled around different parts of yeah. But hey, listen, regardless of where we finish, we're having
Got
a
night.
blast.
Yeah, it's very having fun. Well, it's funny. Josh, I think it's Josh or Stu, but Level Up Arena. I don't know Josh Gar, if you know. He's saying, hey, we know this guy. He's in the chat right now, saying what's up.
What's up? Yeah, those guys are awesome. I traveled out. They're in.
Well, I'm in Kansas City here.
Yeah,
Here in
Kansas City.
Yeah, we got a big event. We got a big event in June. We're doing Midwest Fest.
Yeah, that was great. We did some content there. They have a great venue. They have a great program there. I love those guys.
So, the esports, great esports tour. No, great esports.
The Great Esports Street Tour.
Street tour. I missed it.
Yep.
And yeah, I saw you went to a lot of different places. I saw that you were at the esports Ogden Stadium on some of your content, which is funny because I was there last May for the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup, and I'll be there in May again. I'll be there May 3rd, 4th, and 5th for the. If I know you're kind of close, so if you want to swing by, I'd love to have you there. Yeah, which is kind of funny because there's another. Yeah, that would be I'd love to get you in to come to that if you want to come.
Yeah, just give me the information.
Okay. So, because it's a huge college event, I know people would love to hear from you.
Awesome. Yeah, I'd love to be there.
Which there was another one. There's a here in Kansas City. There's a big high school event. That's the one that I'm talking about with Level Up. That's at their big arena. They moved from. You probably visited when they were in the old Country Western bar that was kind of on a street front or a storefront.
Yeah, it was a converted bar kind of thing.
Which is I mean it was so much fun there because there was a lot of activity Friday and Saturday night. But now they're in a converted double floor basketball arena.
Oh wow!
It's called Kemper Arena, but it's Hy-Vee Arena, which is the grocery store kind of chain around here, and they have a whole big space that's amazing.
Well, that's
and
awesome.
We're doing the big national championship for colleges or high schools this year.
Well, I can't wait to get out there and see it then.
Yeah, 100%. So, okay, let's go to July 12th, 2001. You had a very large beard and then you didn't. On July 12th, 2001, on your social media, you decided to show everybody how you remove your beard with trimmers. What was there? I know that's a year for you that was a little difficult. That will, if you want to talk about it or not. And was there like hey, I just ready to get rid of this thing, or
no? It's way simpler than that.
You kiss better without a beard. I don't know.
My wife hated it. Simple as that. She was okay with me doing it one time. I told her I wanted to do it one time. And she was all right with that one time, but no, she hated it. It was something I wanted to do for quite a while. So I had it for about a year and a half. It's also for anyone that has this like a sizable beard, it's a lot of work.
Yes, it is.
It's a lot of work.
Yes, it is.
My wife started teasing me with things like, you spend more time in the morning getting ready than I do. It wasn't completely accurate, but I got her point. So yeah, it just was time. It was people asked me if I would grow it out again, and the answer would be no. I mean, it was fun, and I don't mind. My wife doesn't mind scruff or a little bit of a beard.
Sure.
But yeah, there wasn't. It just was. I just felt like, you know what, it's time, and we did it.
Well, Lance in the chat over on Facebook, see Facebook. Yes, he loves seeing graybeards playing and streaming. Yes, we are. I think it was actually 2021, the summer of 2021, I started growing out, and I have some streams from back then, and I look back and I'm like, why did I do this? I already look bad, and then I built this nasty beard upon my face that was just down the middle. I was like, golly, and I didn't look great.
Well, I'll tell you, beards get you a lot of attention. There's something to be said for that. I mean, I would have people stop me all the time. Hey, what do you use? Hey, Epic Beard. Hey, it's great. I even was talking with some beard product companies that wanted to do some stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, in the end, it's a lot of work. And you get food stuck in it all the time, so it's kind of. Now, I will tell you the very first thing, and I'll tell you this. I'm going to get in trouble for this.
Okay.
But my wife says. So my dad I didn't grow up with my dad, but we had a relationship when I was an adult, and he always had a beard. And so the first time my beard really started to grow, my wife, I went to kiss her goodbye or something for the day, and she said, she kind of backs away as I'm going to give her a goodbye kiss. She says, "Oh, you look like your dad." And right there, I kind of knew, yeah, this isn't going to stick around very long.
Well, I look like my brother too many times when I make noises or breathe or exist, and I hate it because we look too much alike, and we're just both weird. So yeah, I get the looking like other people for sure. Okay, so let's get through. So we're COVID. I definitely want to jump into mental health. And in December in 2021,
and don't feel awkward.
Okay.
I'm happy to, I mean,
Okay.
I talk about it all the
Understand.
time. So yeah, you don't need to feel uncomfortable.
Great, thank you. You talked about when you came back to social media in that January. Oh gosh, there's a guy right above you. Ah, I cracked him a little bit. He's over here. This is horrible timing to talk about.
That's all right.
All right, we got this.
This is
I think
the
he's
integration.
I think he's in his bathroom.
I have my audio turned down so low.
Okay,
so
yeah, I can't hear anything.
Very well.
Yeah, I just luckily saw somebody. No, he's not in his bathroom. Okay, he left. So you talked about it was a year-long struggle with mental health with your son. With your son Mitchell.
Yep.
Your oldest son. And
our oldest son. Yep.
And it's funny enough, my wife's birthday is September 2nd.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, she was born in '83, so she's a little older.
Someone's dropping right here.
Oh, I'm coming. Nice. As I didn't even reload. Okay.
There's another guy over here in the building.
Yeah, I see the red dot. I see the red dot.
He's dropping in.
Somewhere in here. Oh, he's behind me.
Cracked him.
He's
cracked
behind
him.
me.
He's up top.
Oh, there's another dude behind me. He's trying to push. He's to your left. Oh, there's a guy to your left and flying in. Oh, jeez.
It's all right. We can run. Run, Forrest, run. Oh, crap. He's got me.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 4 guys here.
Yeah, there's so many people there.
Oh, my goodness.
We walked into... Okay, good job. Good job.
Yeah, there's guys everywhere.
What mode do you like playing, actually?
I've been playing a lot of just multiplayer.
Oh,
so
yeah, let's do multiplayer. Let's do multiplayer. That takes a lot.
We've been doing a lot. So there's like now there's shipment and the rooftop. There's
right.
So there was DOS House and so small map mosh pits have been a lot of fun. The main reason I've been playing smaller, faster maps is because I'm trying to get my controls down with using a controller instead of mouse and keyboard.
Makes sense. I'm gonna make you leader so you can pick what you need here.
Okay.
Because I am so unfamiliar, and I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that.
I don't even know how to do that.
Nope. I'm gonna lead the party. You can invite me. Let's do it that way.
Okay, so let's make sure I can do that correctly. Okay, so you were asking me
mental health, year-long struggle with mental health. I know this has led into the foundation. I know this led into what you're doing now with Game Strong, Live Longer, or Game Strong, Live Stronger for mental health. And this documentary you were talking about the other day on your stream for the summer. But like, what do we need to know about mental health? And what are the important factors we should be aware of?
Well, it's so just to give some background to the viewers in the start of and I'll start a game here in just a second.
Sure.
So I can just get through this. So in the beginning of 2021, so my wife and I have been married 35 years. We have 6 children, and Mitch was our oldest son. And in the beginning of January 2021, we began to realize that he was having some mental health issues of different kinds. And we're a very close family, so we talk about everything. But as the year progressed, we realized it was much more significant. So you ask, what is it that we realized with this? It was that so over the course of this year, so I'll just fast forward. In December 7th, 2021, we lost him to his struggle with mental health. There were 3 main things that we learned through that process. Number 1 is the mental health care system's completely overwhelmed. There's too much demand and too many. There are wonderful people trying to do so much. They just can't meet the demand. Number 2, there are people all around us suffering in silence, and you would never know it. I would tell people all the time that, look, every time you meet someone, treat them as though they're having major problems in their life, and you're going to be right most of the time. We started to see that from other people. From the outside, Mitch was a 6'3", incredibly handsome, one of the nicest human beings you'd ever meet, tennis pro, comes from a close family, his parents are all those things from the outside. You would say, hey, he's got it. But on the inside, there was more going on for him.
Yeah.
And so what I realized through that very quickly was that, and these were conversations that he and I would have, Dad, I don't feel like I belong. Dad, I don't feel like I have anyone I can connect with that understands what's going on in my head. Dad, I don't feel like I have any skills that I'll be able to raise a family, and support a family. He says, I don't, and the world seems like a very unkind place. And so those were things that were, consistently on his mind. And so what I realized is that gaming, and I'm kind of condensing the story here, but gaming can provide and does provide for millions of people those four things: a place that you can belong, people that you can connect with, skills that you can develop, and done in the right way in the right environments, kindness. And so I decided that we can leverage this global, connection that we have to be able to take advantage of providing those four things.
Yeah.
And so so I started the 9292 Foundation, which was his birthday, September 2nd, 1992, and decided that we can. This is harder when you're really trying to focus on the game. So we the foundation will have all kinds of initiatives. There's some things my wife wants to do, and but the Game Strong, Live Stronger initiative is one that's focused on doing all that we can through every resource that we can, provide a place to belong, people to connect with, skills develop, and kindness. And so, oh my goodness,
this is a crazy map. I'm actually really loving this.
Yeah, this is so crazy that
map. we're talking about all this nonsense, or this, like we're playing this nonsense, and we're talking about something super serious.
Yeah, exactly. So, we all know, if you've been part of a gaming community, how important they are, benefits that they can bring if they're done correctly. And so I've started through the content to say, how can let's get that message out. Gaming can be these things and should be these things.
Okay.
And so that's the initiative. So the 9292 Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit.
Okay.
This one girl just wants to sit right in this one hallway, and I'm not. All right, best sound of the game right here. Boom, get that off. Okay. And so, like I said, there'll be different initiatives. The Game Strong, Live Stronger is one of the initiatives that I'm currently working on. Now, we have a new announcement that we're going to make tomorrow. I can give you, I can share with you what that's going to be early.
Okay, you're here first, folks.
So when I did the Great Esports Street Tour, hold on, where'd this little pumpkin go? Come on, you little corn on the cob. When I did the Great Esports Street Tour, I really I love being with people. I love being out in a practical way, telling stories and letting people know. Sorry, like you're getting me into full game mode. So when I did the Great Esports Street Tour, that was great in terms of a financial thing. What I'm doing now is we're going to release tomorrow the Great Gamer Street Tour.
Oh,
and what that's going to be is I am going to build content for a future documentary that we'll do the end of the year. And it will be recording all of the stories from gamers themselves and mental health care professionals as well, of how gaming helps them deal and cope with the strains and stresses of mental health and emotional well-being. Now, since the loss of our son, I've literally talked with, in one form or another, thousands of people from around the world who find gaming to be an incredible resource for them in their dark times, right? A place where they can, again, feel as though they belong. They can connect with others who understand them and what they're going through. They can learn skills of all kinds. And the way that we're going to do it, find kindness. And so I want to record those stories. The way I'm going to do it is I'm going to travel from in June, July, and August to every state in the continental U.S. I'm going to do a road trip, and I'm going to film content, sharing all of that, live streams every day, gameplay, recorded content, and then we will be doing, like I said, we'll take all of that and do a documentary.
That's amazing.
At the end of it. So what's really kind of exciting about it, and the reason I say we'll be announcing this tomorrow. So a company called Oversubscribe reached out to me. The founders reached out to me, and they said, "Hey, we think this could be a great resource for you." And the way that it works, just to give you a brief explanation, is unlike to do something like this, a road trip like this is probably going to be in the $40,000 neighborhood, right? To fund all of this, the editors, the travel, all the other things that go along with it. So compared to crowdsourcing or typical Patreon or anything like that, Oversubscribe is actually an SEC, what's the word I'm looking for? Based. I mean, they're SEC regulated. Okay, is what I guess I'm saying. Platform that allows you to have investors, actual investors that are your followers or the people that want to see you do this, and you can actually have the opportunity to provide a return. The way that it works, and so I'm giving it half justice because you got me into this game mode. I love this map. You're doing this like eating hot wings, like you said, right? It's like, so what happens is if someone believes in the work, I have a lot of people that donate to the foundation, a lot of people that, that subscribe to our, content. Every content creator has that, or they'll donate or give gifts and TikTok, whatever.
Right.
The difference here is that they can actually become investors in the opportunity. And it's more than just the opportunity. In other words, everything that's generated in the StreetTacoEater brand, from content, live streams, gifts, subscriptions, all of it goes through their, oh my goodness, didn't work at all. Goes through their management, and a percentage of it's taken and held and managed by them. And then every year that dividend is paid out. So everything from not just the street tour, and I set the terms and the length. So let's say we haven't decided on what it is yet, but let's say that it's 3 years and you get 12%, right? And then you can donate as low as $50 or invest as low as $50 to, I had someone last night, saying they're going to commit 3,000 right out of the gate.
Wow.
But it's an actual investment, right? So it's more than just like a gift. And so you have a much more active role. And so that was actually very intriguing to me, because now we can do this work, have people be a part of it with an actual opportunity to have a return on all of that work. So, you never know. I mean, what if in the course of these 3 years, we have 10 million followers, and the kinds of revenues, whether it's ad revenue or subscriptions or donations or whatever, the people that invest in what I'm doing as a follower get a part of that for that period of time. So that makes me excited, because I have people asking me every day, hey, what can I do to help? How can I support this? And they, and they do a lot of things. I have people that are, doing charity streams.
Yeah.
In our name, because we're a Streamlabs verified charity. And that's great, but now they can actually do something that this is harder. I see why you do this.
You're talking about, and you said this on quite a few streams and things. So, it's still not easy, even though all the content.
It's not easy. This is, I love it. Okay, no, I don't want to do hold on. I don't want to do that.
I'm enjoying just laying down the ground, sniping people down this hallway. This is kind of fun.
A lot of people do. That's exactly what a lot of people do.
I'm that guy right now.
So, we're going to announce that. We're going to do, the way that it starts is you do an interest poll. So we'll be releasing this weekend an interest poll where people can say, yeah, I would be interested in doing this. Here are the details. I would likely, invest this much. And then we can start to gauge, okay, what do we, where are we at with it? So that's what's going on. You're the first one to hear it here.
Wow. Okay. Well, the big deal of StreetTacoEater and the content I looked at that oversubscribe.co, and it looked pretty cool. trying to understand it compared to what is it? What would you compare it to, or not compare it to, in sense of other influencer type models or?
Well, I haven't really seen anything like it. Because, you know, typically, and I've done fundraising for different things, different businesses over the years. So you typically have crowdsourcing, you know, of different kinds of things, and that's very common.
Yeah.
But that's, so, you know, you might get a t-shirt or maybe an early release of an album or something, and people are happy to do it because they believe in it. Or if you do a Patreon, right? Or someone subscribes to you, all those kinds of things are great. And those are very normal. What's different here is that you're actually investing in the Street Taco Eater brand. And it's not, so you have a chance to, you know, a lot of people don't have $100,000 to invest in a business somewhere, but hey, if I put in 50 bucks or a couple $100, because I believe in this, then that's really the difference. Is it's an investment, completely monitored by them. So I'll give you just the nuts and bolts. It's very simple. So in partnering with them, they set up an LLC, so it's all control. There's accountability. I then link all of my revenue streams from my brand into the LLC and a bank account. And then when every month, when that money comes through, how, you know, TikTok pays every week or whatever it is, it goes in, they take out the percentage for the investors and hold that for a year. And then they pay out dividends annually. And then, so that way they're actually monitoring this full accountability for everything that I'm generating. And the people that invest, number one, you invest in something like this because you believe in the person and what they're doing. That's obviously the number one thing. The number two thing is that, hey, I want to support, but wow, this is really cool that I could potentially, you know, earn a significant return.
Yeah.
So, you know, I spent probably 2 weeks. I've had 4 Zoom calls with the founders. I really wanted to vet them. I really wanted to see, is this legit? Is this something that we could really leverage to get our message out? Because the end mission for me is about, shortly after we lost our son, I read a quote that said, you can't save everyone, but everyone can save someone.
Ooh.
And so my mission this year in 2024 is to have 1 million someones, or 1 million everyone's, to help save 1 million someone's.
Wow. Okay.
And so that's the big thing for this, the big push for this is to do this tour, to visit 48 states in 90 days and film content, and share it with everyone and get beyond just the message that mental health is a challenge. Let's find some practical ways that we can help use this incredible community to give people the 4 things we were talking about in the beginning. And so more than just asking for the support, this is a way of saying, I'm going to do this. You've seen what we've been doing for the last number of years. And I would love for you, if you have the ability, to invest, and I'll do everything I can to get you a great return. And so it makes it doubly fulfilling for me in that now, now we can even,
the Rust, baby. Sorry.
Yeah.
We're playing Rust.
Have you played Rust in a while?
Oh, yeah.
Not from the OG days?
I've played it maybe the last year, but honestly, I also played it on Fortnite Creative too.
Oh, okay. All right.
Or UEFN, or whatever.
Yep. Yep.
Right.
I was just watching a video about some new stuff on UEFN. And I talked with one of the guys at a place I spoke at the stadium, one of the Epic guys that works on that. And we were talking about doing some cool stuff together. So anyway, that's
right.
That's what, so the Great Gamer Street Tour is intended to start June 1st. But right now, tomorrow or Sunday, we'll release the audience interest poll. And that'll be simply a chance to say, I would like to do this. I would anticipate I would, you know, be willing to invest this much, $100, $50, whatever it is. And that'll help us be able to gauge, you know, before we ever start, is this something that people really have an interest in and we'll be able to do some great stuff with? Or is there no interest and we'll go about it another way?
Sure. I love that, man. I love that. Oh, this guy knifed me. Oh, okay.
Oh,
whatever, bro.
Yeah.
Whatever, bro.
You got a lot of run around and knifers.
Watching these flicks of people. Like, come on. There's no way you flick like that. You're not a... This game I've talked about was talking to somebody. I was talking to somebody this morning at church actually about a guy who plays Call of Duty Zombies.
Yeah.
And I told him to watch, but I know he's kind of busy right now. But because we're gonna play Call of Duty, I was like, look, Call of Duty Zombies compared to Call of Duty Warzone, and compared to then multiplayer, that is 3 different levels of toxicity. In Zombies, it's a lot of people who really don't play the game, but they love playing that part of the game and just like relaxing and killing zombies.
Yep.
Then Warzone, there's toxicity, and there are people in there who, when you get close enough, they teabag you or whatever when you die.
Yep.
But then multiplayer is its own level of racism and toxicity.
Yep. Well, that's why I don't ever have game chat on, right? And we all know that there's toxicity and negativity in gaming. Oh my goodness, where'd this guy go?
Oh, I just dropped. Yes.
But that's one of the things that I'm very focused on changing, right? There's a lot of bad perceptions about gaming.
Yeah.
And the is that we as gamers have to have some responsibility in how the world sees it, right? Like, oh, gaming is this, it's so toxic. Well, we got to treat it better. I mean, it's not what it used to be. It's not like just going to the arcade. Gaming and gaming opportunities
pretty sure my game
are completely different and very real in all kinds of ways. Whether you just want it to be fun entertainment, or you want it to be a career, or you want it to be, a part-time gig.
Right.
That didn't used to exist. But if you want, I always kind of talk about it back in the sense when I was on a skateboard team when I was young, BMX trick team. And I remember when, excuse me, what's his name? My mind just went blank. Yeah, Tony Hawk. I was thinking Tony Alva was before him. When Tony Hawk signed the first $1 million contract in skateboarding, I remember the skateboarding community just going sideways. Oh, it's going to be all corporate. It's going to be, you're going to take all the soul out of it. And my first thought was, listen, you want to there are people now making a living out of this. It's incredible. So, but you also have to treat it kind of more professionally, right? Same thing in gaming. I mean, now you have the ability to do almost anything you want, where the content creator, professional gamers, way more unrealistic. But if you want people to respect gaming, you have to respect gaming yourself. So the toxicity and those kinds of things, you're never going to make it all go away, but you can definitely help people to elevate it so that the opportunities will continue to pour in, if that makes any sense.
100%. I love that analogy, back to skating to now. Because I've only gone back like 15 years of, especially working in the scholastic space with schools, and my game crashed, by the way, which is kind of perfect timing because we're wrapping up.
Okay.
But I've always compared gaming now of in the scholastic space schools with robotics clubs 10, 15 years ago, and how people thought, well, why, and this is dumb, and why are we doing this, and kids won't learn anything, and they'll be distracted, blah blah. And I love that analogy of, I love the analogy of the what you talk about with professional skateboarders, which also makes me think of, America and soccer, and like soccer was really not a big thing, and you thought it was just for girls or whatever in the 80s and 90s, and then Mia Hamm came around and changed the thing, and swimming with the guy with the big long arms who does this.
Well, after Mark Spitz, not Mark Spitz,
well,
but the one who broke all of his records.
Yes, got like 9 golds or whatever. That one, it'll come to me. The guy who does Subway food. So, it's funny. I was just talking about this morning to some people, and these guys in my church group, they're much older than me, and I just talking about change. Change is inevitable, and change is really good. And I think definitely gaming and where we're at, and all the stuff you push on social media about the benefits of game is great. And I want to put some of that, I want to share some of that content if you let me, and put that out on more platforms. But we luckily my game dropped out, but we're done with our hour. But I want to give you the last 60-second hot seat to get the camera to yourself here, the screen to yourself, and you talk about whatever you want to talk about. You can promote any socials or whatever you want to do, or recap anything. But I'm going to give you the 60-second hot seat, and the screen is all yours.
Okay. Well, number one, I appreciate very much being here with you, Bubba. I've loved your work. I follow you, and I appreciate what you're doing. It is what more of us need to do. I think the biggest thing that I would say to those that are gamers, and what I really talk about all the time in this community, is that we have to understand the power of what we really have our hands on. There are, as I'm focused now with the foundation, and now we'll be doing the Great Gamer Street Tour, is helping people. I have people from all over the world almost daily reach out to me and tell me, hey, if it wasn't for what you're doing, if it wasn't for this content, if it wasn't for gaming, I literally wouldn't be here today. I have people in my stream every day talking about their struggles, and then people in my stream jump in and say, hey, let's talk offline. Let's, you can get through this. There are so many people around us, and it may be you, it may be others in your, close loved ones or friends are just suffering in silence. And gaming has an ability, and this is why, and I've been a gamer for over 40 years. I think I can speak in an OG status and say, listen, gaming is very dear to me, very special to me. Our kids have all been raised gaming together, but we have an opportunity to leverage this globally and literally change and save lives. And so if we start looking at gaming as that opportunity, and there are a lot of wonderful communities, discords, organizations, church groups that are doing great work. But if the minute we start really looking at what we have our hands on, and the way that it's used as not any kind of escape. I mean, it can be that. It can be pure entertainment. It can be just an escape. But for a lot of people, it's very therapeutic, and it's what gets them to the next day. So my whole mission and purpose this year is to build that message, take that message, do this documentary, share all of that, grow this following, because literally the more everyone's we have, the more someone's we can save. Now, next year, Bubba, just to let you know, if all goes well this year, we're going to Europe. So if you're over there in England, we're going to bring the Great Gamer Street Tour over to Europe, and because I already have a whole European crew waiting.
Okay, yeah, we'll do. I mean, it's easy to get around in Europe with all the trains, so I'll go anywhere. I'll go anywhere. It'll be great, man.
So that's it. That's where we're at, Bubba. Thank you so much. You have a great community, and it's just what a privilege to be with you.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna keep watching and promoting your content. I'm gonna send you a link from the Video Games and Esports Foundation in our DMs on LinkedIn, because I try to put all the stuff you talk about. You give data and resources and stuff in your videos. There I put, it's like 100 pages of data, so pick and choose what you want, and just
awesome.
If it makes it easier for you to find stuff,
love it.
Please use
it. Yeah, if people want to find me, I'm on all socials, but StreetTacoEater.com is the website, and there'll be a bunch of new stuff coming up here in the next few days, especially around this. But everything is at StreetTacoEater, super easy to find, and I'd love, I'm happy to talk with anyone anytime about this, just like you are, I know.
Well, it is in the chat if you guys are there. If you guys want to check that out. Thank you so much. About 30 some odd people watching, so thank you guys for coming. StreetTacoEater, I appreciate it. If you want to hang out in the control room, I'm going to shut down the show, and I'll come chat with you here in a minute.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Everyone, thank you so much for being here today on Invite Sent. This was season 3, episode 10. I don't know if playing Call of Duty is what I did today, but we had Call of Duty open for a time, and it was being actively used. But I definitely need to get back into it, and I accidentally bought the game the other day thinking I was getting the $70 version, and I clicked the $99 version. So I definitely have to use it now, and I can't write this off. So I'm gonna have to play it a lot more often with all my friends, and try to get some games in with anybody out there. So thank you guys so much for coming. We'll be back on next Thursday. We're gonna have a show with a guy named Ed. We're gonna talk about the metaverse, AI, artificial intelligence, AR and VR in the audio video space on the Ray V Sports Show. We're also gonna have some folks in different spaces from the Scholastic space next Friday. We're going to have another episode of Invite Sent, and that's going to be with PK Graff. And I didn't bring his book, but we're going to go over his book called The Mindful Gamer. And we're going to go over his book on the show and play something as well. And then we're going to have a break because the eclipse is coming. And we're actually going to go down to Waco and watch the eclipse. And we'll have Bethany Piles, who's with Nasif and also used to be with Cloud9, and Zach Teep here, BJ Fink as well later down the road. So we've got a couple different people lined up. check out the show. We're on all streaming platforms. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for coming. Everybody in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Lance, everybody else. Nick. Thank you so much, Josh. I'll see you next time. Take it easy. Bye.
Hello there, gamers and mental health enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into a groundbreaking study that explores the intersection of scholarly gaming and mental health education, and how it can impact the self-esteem of adolescents. Picture this: a world where scholarly gaming isn't just about mastering technology-based career skills or dominating the world of video game business. No, it's a world where gaming becomes a gateway to improving mental health. 3 visionary educators and a school-based health intervention expert came together to create a curriculum that aligns with academic guidelines from the International Society for Technology Education. This curriculum spans 40 lessons, delivered over 14 weeks with a minimum of 120 minutes per week. But here's the twist: 83 schools were invited to participate, but they were divided into 2 groups, those with mental health moments and those without. The non-mental health moment group got the scholarly gaming curriculum alone, while the mental health moment group got an extra layer of education. Mental health moments were embedded into 27 lessons, integrating concepts from the PERMA framework and the collaborative academic, social, and emotional learning standards, otherwise known as CASEL. Now, let's meet our players. 471 participants from both groups, with almost 75% in high school, many experiencing scholarly gaming for the first time. A majority were male, and the racial diversity was broad. At the start, the average self-esteem score was 17.9, with 22.1% reporting low self-esteem. But hold on, the game's just beginning. As the study progressed, it revealed some fascinating results. While 57.7% of participants with low self-esteem at the beginning reported average self-esteem post-intervention, the mental health moments group stole the spotlight. Self-esteem scores improved by 8.3% in the mental health moments group, compared to no change in the non-mental health moments group. How's that for a power-up? Some students even shifted from abnormally low self-esteem scores to normal ranges. The message is loud and clear. Educators, healthcare providers, and adolescent advocates pay attention. Non-traditional educational instructions, like scholarly gaming, combined with mental health moments, can significantly improve students' well-being. And there you have it, a journey through the power of scholarly gaming and mental health moments. Remember, your self-esteem matters, and sometimes, all it takes is a little extra support to level up. Thanks for joining us on this adventure. Until next time, keep gaming, keep learning, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself.
Making history at CECC. And there it is! Both platforms online and dip. We'll take it home. What a game.
Take a victory lap, take a bow, and take the headsets off and start to yell.
Life is busy. Every day we ask questions like, what's happening today? What should I wear? How am I going to fit everything in? But then there are bigger questions like, why am I here? What's my purpose? Where am I heading? Is there more to life than this? These are some of life's big questions, but there's rarely enough time to think them through. That's why Alpha exists. Alpha is a place to explore life's big questions in a safe and open environment. It's a series of sessions where anyone can share their thoughts and opinions and ask questions without feeling judged. When you come to an Alpha, you'll notice that first, there's food. Whether it's a full meal or a light snack, this is the time to get to know each other in a casual setting. Next, you'll watch an Alpha Talk. The talks are created to engage and spark conversation. They explore big issues around faith from a Christian perspective. After the talk is a time for discussion. This is the most essential part of any Alpha. It allows everyone to share their own opinions on the ideas presented in the talks. It's a time for people with different thoughts, beliefs, and experiences to ask honest questions and have open conversation. Every week, there are guests coming for the first time to an alpha in their community. Alpha is for everyone, regardless of background or beliefs. There's no pressure, no follow-up, and it's completely free to attend. Come and explore life's big questions. Find an alpha near you today.